Hi, I'm Tom Cotter. I'm host of Hagerty's Barn Find Hunter series, where I drive around the United States looking for old cars, giving you encouragement that there's still old cars to be found. And this is my trusty companion. It's a 1939 Ford Deluxe. And this car's been part of my life for half a century. I bought this in high school. I was 15 years old. It didn't have a driver's license, but I was a car guy for sure. And found this as I was walking across a schoolyard with a friend in Brentwood on Long Island. I went back that night with my father and we talked to the people who owned it, and they said, yeah, it was for sale and it was $300. My dad says, well, I really like the car and I'd like to help you fix it up, but I don't have $300 to give you. So a woman that I had done landscaping work for and washed the car, she advanced me the money and I worked it off all summer. And this car became a part of my life in 1969. It was part of my life until 1973. We worked on it, but we didn't have a garage. Now we're on Long Island, so the weather's not so great in the winter. No garage, no tools, no knowledge, and no money. Besides that, we had everything. So we'd work on the wood, and over the winter the wood would be undone because in the canvas cover it would sweat. So finally, frustrated, I needed the money for tuition for school. I sold this Woody to a gentleman in Puerto Rico in 1973. I was 19 years old. And 26 years later, my wife found this Woody through the National Woody Club, again in Puerto Rico. It was 3 owners later, and we bought it back and restored it to the way you see it now. I've had it back now for 21 years. Sometime while it was in Puerto Rico for 26 years, another body was made for it, and it was made out of teak, and it was unique, but it was not really what I wanted. I wanted more of the original style. It has a new body. I had a new body made for it. So when I owned it the first time, it had the original Ford wooden body, which was made in Iron Mountain, Michigan, way up in the Upper Peninsula. So it's bird's eye maple, which is this wonderful wood that has all this kind of pimply texture, not a texture, but an image to it, and ash panels. And so it's a new wood body. It took a couple of years to have made. The color I chose is called Maize Yellow, and I saw this color on a calendar. It was on a Woodie Wagon, and it was a springtime color in 1939. So I guess for about 3 months in the spring of '39, you could buy this color. Otherwise, the colors, the other colors were nice: dark blue, black, burgundy, but this was kind of a happy color, and I thought a Woody is kind of a happy car. So instead of a black vinyl top, which they all had from the factory, put this tan canvas top on here. It's made of Mercedes-Benz canvas. It's waterproof. So I wanted it to be a fun car to look at, and I have to tell you the truth that people really love the way this car looks. At traffic lights, people give you the thumbs up. People on the sidewalk, yeah, I like the car.
Check it out, gator skin seats, bro. Hell yeah.
One of the best features, I think, is the roof, and the roof is all wooden slats. Potentially would look like you might see in a boat construction. The banjo steering wheel that the car came with made it a smaller diameter wheel and then a fatter rim on it. It's a leather rim. It's got a shifter that resembles the original '39 Ford 3-speed floor shift, but actually this is it's actually an automatic transmission, and it's actually an overdrive transmission, and the car gets about 25 miles a gallon. Now, I've never shown anybody under the hood of this car on this program, but I'm going to show you right now. So you see this car, it's got to be, without a doubt, it's the most used Woody in the world. I promise you that. And as a result, it's got lots of stone dings and chips. It's got almost 50,000 miles on it since I started to use it, especially in this Hagerty series, driving all over the United States. When I bought this car as a 15-year-old, I wanted to be a California surfer guy, and I lived in New York. So this was my gateway to be a California surfer guy, because California surfer guys had good-looking blonde girlfriends, and they were able to drink Coors beer. They had neat hot rods. So I thought this would get me there. It only took me 50 more years to drive this to California. Recently, I talked about this car on a radio show. It's based out of Long Island. It's called Motormouth Radio, and it's a car show. And they wanted to know about the Woody I had that I use on the Barn Find Hunting series. I mentioned, well, I found this car as a 15-year-old as I was walking across a schoolyard in Brentwood, Long Island, and a guy called up. Somebody wanted to ask a question. He said, wait a minute, I remember that car. When I went to that elementary school, and all the kids would be playing on the playground equipment, and I'd be at the fence looking at the Woody through the fence. I said, are you kidding me? That car's been away from that for 50 years. You remember that car 50 years later? He said, yeah, I was just a kid, but I dreamed about owning a car like that one day. He said, I'm so glad it went to good hands. So I talked to another guy that knew about this car, which is just insane to think that somebody can remember this car a half a century later. But I feel lucky to own it, and I look forward to hitting 100,000 miles with this thing in the next few years. I guess a good question would be, why do I drive this Woody on the YouTube Barn Find Hunter series? Well, this car is the icebreaker. This car gives me legitimacy when I pull into somebody's driveway to ask about an old car that they might have in their driveway or behind the house or in the barn. If I pull this in a driveway, suddenly people don't see me as a threat, as if I were driving a new SUV or a new pickup truck, and ask about that 36 Ford that's back there. But if I pull in a 39 Ford asking about that 36 Ford, I'm kind of a member of the family. And so instead of people saying, no, it's not for sale, and closing the door, people say, oh, can I see your car? And would you like some iced tea? It's really the ideal character to have on our series, and I wouldn't want anything else. If you'd like to see this car in action, go to YouTube/Hagerty and look for Barn Find Hunter. We've been doing this now for 4 years, and the programs come out every 2 weeks, and you'll see enough to keep you busy for a long time. During the course of Barn Find Hunter, plus the personal driving I've put this car through, I've put almost 50,000 miles on it since it's been redone 20 years ago. But you know what? It runs so well and gets such positive attention, I can't wait to hit 100,000 miles with this car, which I think I'm going to do starting right now.